One of us actually accidentally took a in Robb Flynn's toilet. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Jake. Took a in there, and then like we walked out, like went walking down the corridor back to our dressing room, and then we heard like, "What the f***, man?" Like from there, because that was their like private toilet.
You're watching The Heavy Metal Therapist, where we ask the question not what you're doing, but how are you doing. So today we're joined by a very special guest, Julian from the band Heriot. How are you doing, man?
Hello, I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you, Joe? You good?
I'm okay.
You're okay?
I'm alright.
He's above mediocre.
Yeah, I'm above mediocre. We'll go with that one.
Talk us through a little bit about your band and your journey and where you've come from.
Heriot have been a band for about 10 years in some kind of formation. We started as a three-piece in Swindon. We kind of went to school together. And then we met someone called Debbie Goff while we were touring along that time. And her band broke up, and we kind of merged together with her, and then we kind of see the band as two separate parts, very much the three-piece part and the four-piece part. So once Deb joined, we kind of started everything over from scratch. The only thing that stayed the same was the name. That's the only thing we kept. And then since then, it's kind of been a completely different journey, a very different journey to what it was before. It's been cool.
I've known Julian, going on, must be something like 15, 20 years now.
Yeah, I think so.
Always being around each other in the scene, it's been such an incredible, just honestly, such a joy watching you go from strength to strength, and then suddenly, it's watching you. I think I would say you're still midway through blowing up.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's kind of got bigger and bigger year on year the last 4 years. We're trying to just enjoy it more than anything, and it could all end tomorrow. Is kind of how we feel about it, because the industry's so weird. We've got lots of cool stuff coming up. We've got an insane year, so we're just rolling with the punches and gonna take it as far as we can go.
The changes that you've gone through, how has that affected you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a weird one. Most people know, everyone knows that music isn't like a full-time job now. So we all still work. We've all still got day jobs, and it gets kind of increasingly harder to manage that the bigger the band gets. We're kind of at this really shitty point now where we're really kind of taking the mick with our jobs, and they're really not happy about all the kind of time off that we need, but they kind of understand that the music's the kind of thing we want to pursue, and the job is just a job to pay the bills at the end of the day. So at the moment it's a really weird one. I think one thing that I've always kind of really struggled with is kind of being on tour and then coming home from tour. That's always been something that's been hard to adjust to, because they're two very, very different things. The experiences you have out on the road to when you're sat at a desk at home is very different, and I think I've personally got a lot better at managing that, but I don't know how the other guys find it, but it's a weird one. It's interesting.
Because we were talking to the guys in El Nino that are they did do it full time, and what they found is when they come home, they just don't know what to do with themselves.
I find I just have to I can't really relax. I have to always do something. That's not just because of the band, and that's just my personality. So I get home and I've got time to myself. I just have to do something. Just have to keep busy. So I feel like I've achieved something at the end of the day. But I think it's just the fact that touring is so full on. We still do a lot of things ourselves when we're touring. I tour manage the band, so it's very full on. I'm not just going up and playing every night. I do a lot. So it's coming home to then just silence and sitting at a desk is very different to being surrounded by people for 4 weeks at a time. It's the difference between the two can be quite jarring.
How do you navigate that mentally? What happens for you?
I don't know, to be honest. I used to really struggle with it, and it's something that I've just got better with. I used to hate coming home, in all honesty, like, 'cause we'd have such a good time on tour, and I'd be so miserable when we got home. But I think that the reality is that, like, you know, like, if we really want to do this, we got to keep pushing. You can't, like, sulk about it. Like, it can be hard. But yeah, I mean, I think the more we've done it, the easier I found it, which is weird. I think when we first started touring, I think I don't know. We were kind of like, our first tour was pretty cool. Like we didn't really have a tour. We didn't really we were really lucky to kind of have really good tours from the off, really. So like we felt like we were like rock stars for a week, and then we'd come home and it would be like it'd be hard, but it's got easier. I think that's just growing up as well. I mean, it's been like 4 years since we've been touring properly, so it's been quite a while now.
And you guys are playing download. You're playing download this year, right? Is that?
Not this year. We did last year, and we did 2022 as well.
How was that for you guys?
The first one was great. When we did 2022, I think that was still like probably the best show we've ever played. I think just personally, because it's such a bucket list thing to do, download. I think we did it 2022, so yeah, June 2022. We put out a record in April of that year, so it was just come out. It was kind of our breakthrough year, if you want to call it that. So yeah, it was just nuts. We opened up the Dog 2 stage and we played to like 5,000 people at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was wild, like beyond the wildest dreams kind of thing. Like, we never expected that. It was cool.
Wow.
But yeah, last year wasn't a great experience for us. We just had a bad time. It wasn't great. Yeah, it was real. We opened the second stage, and the headliners of that stage overran, so we didn't get a sound check, and they kind of ate into our set. So I think we only played for about 10 minutes in the end. Everything went wrong. Literally anything you could possibly imagine going wrong at the biggest show of your career happened. So we try not to really think about it too much. But yeah.
That must be quite a jarring moment, going from having such a great experience on the first one and then suddenly just almost the opposite of that.
Yeah, honestly, we don't really talk about it. It was horrible. We worked so hard up to it. We had loads of pre-production rehearsals and stuff. We had our own crew with us. We tried to pull out all the stops to make it the best show we could, and it just all went to shit. Yeah, and the weather was shit. It was there was only 300 people there, probably, which is probably about a good thing, really, because it was shit. But yeah, it's one of those, man. It was just really disheartening, because download should be that pinnacle thing. But the first time we did it was, but second not so much.
You want to do the Spitfire round now?
You want to do your Spitfire round?
Spitfire round. Count one, count two, count one, count two. So basically, just a little bit of fun. I'm gonna fling 5 kind of either or questions at you, and you can take as long as you would like to explain why you've chosen which choice.
Cool. Sounds good.
Cool. Right. So first question: hometown headline show or main stage at Download?
I'd say hometown, because people have been wanting us to play Swindon for so long, and we've just not been able to do it. It's been something we've wanted to do, but I feel like the more time goes on, it's just harder to make that happen. We've been trying to do it as a festival warm-up one year, didn't happen. For a tour warm-up, but we couldn't do it because we were playing Bristol. There's always a reason why, there's some industry reason why we're not allowed to do it. So yeah, at this point, it would be hometown. I'm determined to make it happen. Probably not this year.
We'll talk. Our people will talk. We'll figure out.
Yeah. Please do, because so many people want it, and it's getting the powers above to make it happen. It's not entirely our decision.
Even if we have to pull a Foo Fighters and change your name, just to get you to say you're allowed to play. No, we're a different band with a different name, but we're still the same band.
Yeah, I actually had that discussion with someone the other day, like we could do a secret set, but then my worry with that was no one would show up because it's not billed as us, and then it would just completely backfire. Because Swindon's a weird one, like it's a lovely town, but part of me still thinks that even if we did do a show in Swindon, would it sell out? I don't know, but
I saw the post the other day where you guys had like sold out was it 400 capacity in Bristol?
yeah.
And Swindon, I mean, probably the best venue in Swindon at the moment is like the Vic. And I don't know if Furnace or Level 3 or whatever is even doing anything at the moment. But you'd need, like, if it was going to be a hometown, you'd assume it would be quite the welcome home. And so you'd want quite a big venue, wouldn't you? But
I don't know. If we do it, we'll do it at the Vic, just because we like Darren, we love Darren, and he's been personally trying to get us for so long. So whenever we do it, it will be there, and I think that's only a 200 cap if I'm right, but something like that. So like that sounds sick. Like we could sell out that room, but just because it's Swindon, it puts that doubt in my mind that Swindon's so unpredictable, like that. I don't know, man. There's something about it. Like I love it. I love Swindon. I still live in Swindon. I love Swindon, but there's just something about it, and I think that's what's probably hard to get our agent, our manager, and stuff on side with it. But I think we'll do it. But yeah, the reason we haven't been able to is always because we're doing a headline tour, and it'll conflict with that, or there'll be some kind of clause in a festival where it says you can't play within so many miles radius within this many weeks of the festival. There's always these little things that mean we can't.
we're booting up Southwest Hardcore again, so
We are.
maybe we can look at working together and get something down for you guys.
Yeah, man. You can try. So many people have tried, so please do. Like, so it will happen at some point, but yeah.
Yeah.
Second question. This is kind of a deep cut for us because obviously you know John for years, and your kind of goes back to the Swindon scene as such. So the next question is: Erase the Rat or Rising from Death?
Rising from Death.
There you go.
Like,
Good answer. It's a good answer.
I remember like seeing you guys when I was like 15 or something at Furnace. Like, you're one of the OG heavy bands in Swindon, so yeah, that's an easy answer.
Yeah, because the Razor Rat was only around for like a couple of years.
I don't think I ever saw you guys. I might be wrong, but
It was a fun time, but it was also that band was short lived. So that was an easy one.
it was a good question.
Acoustic or electric?
Electric, easy. We can never do an acoustic set, like, so it has to be electric. Like we wouldn't translate electric, and I think just when you go see a show, loud music is good, right? I mean, I like acoustic stuff. I went to see the Kooks acoustic in Bristol on Tuesday. Well, that was kind of cool. But yeah, nothing beats live loud music, really, does it? I think.
I agree. I think I agree. Although we had the interesting discussion about that last time because you got artists like Johnny Cash and
It's true. Johnny Cash is just can't beat it.
Yeah, I really like Dave McPherson from In Me. Like, he's kind of the only kind of acoustic stuff I like. Like, I went back and listened to his old first two records the other week, and I love that. But I'm not really into much else really from that realm.
That's fair. Yeah.
One fan forever, or 100 fans for a short period of time.
I guess one fan forever. We've got a few hardcore fans that have been there from the start, that kind of comment on everything we do and interact with us and stuff like that. And you always remember those people, which is cool. Like, we got this guy from Canada called Jay, and he's been there since we put the first single out, and he's just waiting for us to come over to Canada. So yeah, having people like that is really important. I think that there's a few people that are hardcore Heriot fans, more so than normal.
Yeah.
I think our guitarist being one of them, which is still.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Our guitarist at the moment, Ward, like we often laugh because the very first show we played, he's wearing a Heriot t-shirt. It was kind of like
That's
Then
cool.
I also have a Heriot t-shirt and a Heriot hat in my wardrobe, and I contemplated wearing it today, but you know.
I'm the only one that doesn't have a Heriot hat or Heriot t-shirt.
Well, maybe you should go see them and support your scene, Joe.
Probably.
Yeah, if you go to www.heriotmetal.com, you can get merch there. There's a plug there.
There you go. There you go.
And then final question: Christmas or Halloween?
Christmas. I'm not really a Halloween guy. I never used to really celebrate as a kid, and I really like Christmas. We went to New York for Christmas. Christmas just gone, and that was pretty magical. So I'm a big Christmas guy. I don't know what I'm doing for this year, but I think we'll probably stay at home for the first time in a while, which is nice. But yeah, definitely Christmas. Easy.
Yeah.
That's my dumbass round done.
There you go.
Nah, it was fun.
I thought it was the Spitfire round.
It is a Spitfire round, but it's also my dumbass round.
Your dumbass round. That's fair.
I'm just going to change the name every time we do it, just to confuse people.
Yeah. When you guys are out on the road, how do you sustain looking after yourself mentally? Like, is there any things that you guys do to help each other out?
Not really. I mean, the longest kind of run we did was only in November, December last year with Fit for an Autopsy. That was routed like a bus tour, so we should have done it on a bus traveling overnight, but we couldn't afford to do that, so we did it in a van and stayed in hotels, and it was brutal. It was really, really brutal. But I mean, I think we're still kind of in this honeymoon phase with touring, that we still love every minute of it. Like, I still, even the shit bits, I still really enjoy. I enjoy the stress of it, and I thought that would have kind of weaned a bit by now, but it hasn't yet. There's obviously still time for that, but it can be difficult because you never really get any time to yourself. You're sharing a hotel room with people every night. You're in a van for 9 hours a day with your AirPods in. That's the only kind of like escape that you get, really, because that tour was so poorly routed for a van. It was even harder just because we had to get up at like, there were some nights where we were getting to a hotel at 1 a.m. and then we were up again at 5 a.m. and back in the van for 11 hours to get on a ferry and stuff like that. Like, it was brutal, but the shows were so good, and that tour was so good that, I mean, if it was a shit tour, it probably would have been totally different. We probably would have been really burnt out, really bummed out by it. But yeah, it's a weird one. I fingers crossed. I still really enjoy touring, and I've found it fairly easy. I enjoy it at the moment. But yeah, I mean, it does. You do have good days and bad days, like with everything you do. So I mean, but yeah, the bad days, you kind of take a step back and look at what you do, and you be like, what have I got to complain about, really? Like, we're very lucky to be in the position we're in. So I think that kind of carries everyone through. All times we're kind of just like, we're so lucky to be here.
No, that's good. I like that. It's kind of because there can be a lot of negatives around touring, but I think doing it for the right reasons. I think clearly you guys have got, like, you know, music is your passion and it's what you're doing, and I think, you know, it's almost like you're consistently in a happy place because you're what you love. Yeah.
I think if anyone like wasn't enjoying it, it'd be able to tell, and it'd probably become a problem for like the whole touring party kind of thing, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's very much childhood dreams. So like we're just loving every minute of it. That might not be that way forever, but at the moment, it's great.
How did you get into kind of like the heavy metal scene? Is there a story behind it, or was it just something that just happened naturally?
I kind of grew up with music in the house and stuff, but nothing ever heavy. My parents were kind of into Placebo, Muse, Foo Fighters, kind of that late 90s, early 90s stuff. That's kind of what I grew up with. But Kerrang TV was always on the TV, so I kind of discovered Slipknot that way, and that was the gateway band. I'm sure it's most people's gateway band, but I think I was 9 when I got Volume 3 on CD. My mum and dad said, "What did you want for your birthday?" I think it was, and I was like, "I want this CD." So they bought me that, and it just like changed everything for me. It's always very cliche to say stuff like that, but it did. Like, I'd never heard music like that, and I was so young as well. I definitely shouldn't have been listening to Slipknot when I was 9, but it worked out, and like, yeah, you kind of get into the similar bands like System of a Down and Korn and stuff, and they're probably, all of those bands are still like my favorite bands today. So, but yeah, those kind of gateway bands into heavy, and then like going to local shows as well when I was old enough. And my cousin was older than me, so she used to take me to gigs and things like that when I was a teenager. So yeah, I went to live music was important. I think live music made me realise that I wanted to do music, definitely.
Yeah, there's something about being in that and being around the people that love the same thing.
Yeah, the first time you experience that, like when you're young as well, is mental, because like you'd obviously, you see it on TV and stuff, but you don't really realise until you do it how special it is.
And that album as well, the subliminal verses, like that was just such it's interesting because that for me, I'd listened to Slipknot's first 2 albums, and so when that one came out, at first it was like the first track is like nice and calm, and I was like, what is this? Like, I don't know if I like this. But now I think even to this day, I think that is my favourite Slipknot album. I think it's just got something about that album that's just got so like the raw aggression, but also it's got that beautiful kind of like some of the songs like Vermilion and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that was their like creative peak for me. Like, that was when they were kind of firing all cylinders and doing things that they wouldn't normally do. And obviously that was my first album, so I went back to Iowa and the self-titled, so I see it differently. But I still think just the things they were doing on that record was so different to the previous 2, and I think that's when they kind of made their step to like being a headliner and stuff, wasn't it? Like, when that record came out, people started taking it a bit more seriously. They weren't just straight up heavy for the sake of it. But yeah, I still think like that record's untouchable to me. It's ridiculous.
I would agree. I don't think there's a bad track on that album.
No, I love it, like start to finish. It's so good. It feels like it's put together so well as well. Like, the track listing is perfect album.
I would agree. Do you like that album?
Yeah, I mean, it's got my favourite ones on there, like Duality and Before I Forget, and all the ones that everyone knows. And again, Vermilion's actually although saying that, my favourite Slipknot track is actually My Plague. So
I really like My Plague. My Plague's so underrated as a single. It's very good.
It's like the most underrated Slipknot song. Like, even you get like, loads of people that like know, like, usually they're like All Hope Is Gone fans, and you're like, I don't know why you're a fan of this album. This is just clearly not their peak. But like, yeah, and then you're like, oh yeah, My Plague, and then like, what song is My Plague? And you're like, how do you not know this song?
Did you not watch Resident Evil? Like,
I mean, that was a big, yeah, that was a contributing factor. Yeah. But
yeah.
So I guess I'm torn. I do like Volume 3 because it's got a lot of songs I know, but at the same time, Iowa was My Plague, wasn't it? So Iowa's still...
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think the first 3 records are like untouchable. After that, things... All Hope Is Gone is also like unreal, but like that's... I don't know. The later albums aren't great. But I mean, most bands' later albums aren't great, so like it's one of those, isn't it? Really, there's good songs on all of them, but I think, yeah, those first 3 is like peak.
Yeah, I think like I say, it's like the first 3 albums. It's like wall to wall. You could sit and listen to those albums back to back without having any problems at all. Yeah. And then you get to like the later albums, and it's like there's some good songs in there, but there are some songs where you're like, yeah, actually, I'm gonna skip this one.
Yeah, I think like, when those later albums first came out, I was so excited, and I was like, yeah, this is the best thing ever. But over time, you kind of you take the rose tinted glasses off, and you're like, they're okay. Like, they're great records, and it's cool they're still going. Like, they're still unreal live. Like, It's still like my favourite band ever. When they're touring, I'll always go. So
What's your creative process like when you guys write? How does that happen, or what does that look like?
It's a bit disjointed, really, because we all live in different cities. So 2 of us are in Swindon, 1 in Bristol, 1 in Birmingham. So when we do get together, it can be quite difficult to get us all in the same room for long periods of time. So usually Jake's kind of like our core songwriter. He'll write a bunch of stuff and he'll bring a bunch of stuff in, and we'll get together for like a week. Like we did the initial writing sessions for the album we did in a week. We kind of wrote an album in a week, took it away, did a bunch of festivals, and then worked on it again for another week, and then we were like, right, that's the album. So like we just kind of write in really short bursts, like a week at a time. We'll stay somewhere, like, and we'll work from like 11 a.m. until 2 in the morning, and we'll just work like that for 7 days, and then hopefully we come out with some good stuff. And thankfully that's worked up until now. Like we've done everything like that. We did both with the EP and the album like that. It's probably not the best way of doing things, but we have to kind of work with the situation that we're in, and it does work. So yeah, it's kind of annoying. It'd be cool to like get together in a room and jam and stuff like we used to back in the day when we were younger, but we can't logistically do it, so we have to make it work.
You've grown up, you got a mustache now.
Yeah. I'm surprised you can see it. It's pretty rubbish, but I'm actually gonna get rid of it tomorrow, I think.
Oh no!
Well, not get rid of it, trim it down.
Yeah, I like it, dude. It's good. So what are your kind of game plans for the future? Where would you like the band to go?
I mean, ideally it'd be a full-time job that we can take a wage from. That'd be the dream. It's difficult because I think like we've achieved a lot of the things that we wanted to achieve. So your aspirations just get bigger and bigger. Like once you've achieved one thing, the next thing you want to do is a bigger thing. We when we kind of started, we had kind of not realistic expectations, but like things that could be achievable if we worked hard, and we were really lucky to get them quite early on in our existence, and we're really like fortunate for that. But like in the near future, just touring the US is a big one. That'd be great, but it's very expensive to do that. So the right offer has to come. We've had lots of opportunities to do it, and we can't afford it. Unfortunately, it's hard.
And the political climate at the moment in America is not so great for people going over there at the moment.
Yeah, that's very true. I hadn't thought of that, but it's still on the bucket list. But when that will be. But yeah, I don't know. There's like, I think we've all got like certain bands we want to tour with and stuff like that, and but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna put out some more music, and hopefully people like it, and then we can tour that music. That's the best thing, is writing music and then going to play it to people, and the more people, I mean, the audience is getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, we're just gonna keep on doing what we're doing.
Good.
I mean, it's the same. Like for us, you guys are one of the bands that we want to tour with, so it's kind of,
Yeah.
that's why it's the issue.
Yeah.
But that's more because it's like you obviously have known John for a long time, and like I've probably seen you at shows, but I've got a memory like a goldfish. But like it'd be more like, it feels like touring with you guys would be more of one of those like hangout tours where it feels a lot more like all the bands are like the best of friends kind of thing.
Yeah, like we always, every tour we've done, like we come away with a new group of friends, which is cool, even when we're like supporting. Like we've only done 2 headline tours, so one in April just gone and one in 2023, so we haven't really done a lot of headline stuff, but those 2 tours we just took out bands that we liked, and like some of them we probably had loose friendships with before, but most of them were just bands that we thought were cool. Yeah, and like we've come away with friendships from all those tours, and even the support tours when we did like Rolo Tomasi and stuff. Like we're really good friends with those guys now, and I grew up listening to them, so it's cool. Like kind of touring is weird. You meet these people and then you become friends. You spend a lot of time together.
Is there anyone that, you don't have to name names, but is there anyone that you've gone like, oh, they were not who I thought they were? Or has it been generally just everyone's really positive, like it's been a positive experience?
Yeah, no word of a lie. Like I haven't personally had like a bad experience with anyone. Like we've met people that we look up to and stuff, and they've all been lovely, which is a pleasant surprise. But yeah, no, I think we've been really lucky. Every band we've supported have been really nice, and like festivals is where you kind of mingle with the rock stars of the rock and metal world, and everyone we've brushed paths with has been really nice. I think like the only one funny experience was like one of us actually accidentally took a Robb Flynn's toilet at rock hammering. We didn't actually we took a shit, or, like I can't remember who it was. I think it was Jake. Took a shit in there, and then like we walked out, went walking down the corridor back to our dressing room, and then we heard like, what the fuck, man, like from there, because that was their like private toilet, and we didn't know that. And there was obviously like skids in there or whatever. But I mean, we kind of just heard it from a distance. Everyone we've met has been great. Like we've been really lucky. We played a Lamb of God. They were great. They were like the nicest dudes ever. No one's been an asshole, which is surprising, I think. Like
it really does sound like you guys have like literally living the dream, and it just
Yeah, we've been really lucky. Like I think like the more we do it, we're just trying to like enjoy it now. I think like we're really trying to take it all in when we're doing these like big things. I think at the start it was all a bit overwhelming, and you really like you come off stage and you're just like that. It was a blur, and now I'm kind of trying to like just savor every moment of it and kind of be really in the moment. Like still obviously doing the show and the adrenaline's there, but like looking out when you're doing those big festivals and stuff and really taking it in and being like, this is pretty wild. I think it's important to do that because it might all stop tomorrow.
How do you think you'd cope if that happened?
Not very well, probably.
Would you like consider starting a new band, or would you just be like, I've tried, this is it?
Sat at home with multiple tubs of ice cream, blanket.
I think about this all the time, like because it's so hard when you're like coming up. I honestly don't know if I could do it again, because it's just, but then like I say that as I couldn't do it again, but then if Heriot ended, and I would start another band because I'd want to play music. Like you have to play music. I think once you start playing music, you don't really stop. So I'd say that no, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that, but I definitely would. Like if this all ended tomorrow, I'd definitely be in another band. I think
the conclusion is it would be really, really tough, and you hope it doesn't happen. And we hope it doesn't happen. I want to see you guys like really, I want to see you guys make this like a success. Like
we got some really cool stuff like in the pipeline that I'm sworn to secrecy on, but there's a lot of cool stuff coming.
Especially because like the amount that you put into like crafting your musicianship, and like probably the sheer amount of money you spent on drums as well.
We've been really lucky. Like the band has been pretty self-sufficient for the last like 3 years, which is insane because music is expensive. So like that's something that's really cool. And so like we've got support from endorsements and things like that to help us with gear. If things break, they send us a new one and stuff like that, which is really cool. It's really cool like to have support from like simple companies that I've used since I was a kid and stuff. Like getting on board with all that is really, really cool. And we've just got we've got a great team behind us as well. Like our management are great, our booking agent's great. Like we're really fortunate, all the people that we work with. Our PR are great. Like we are really, really lucky. and I think that's why we're just trying to savor it and kind of whenever we get pissed off about stuff or stressed, you have to take a step back and like, how many people would kill to be in our position, and you can't really complain about it. Like, so yeah, that's the way I try and look at things.
Oh, I like that. And because like when we were getting this set up, like even though you and I are friends, we have to go through official channels and stuff, but every interaction I've had with everyone that you like on your team, that they just seem awesome. Like they seem like a really great bunch of people around you.
Yeah, it's a bit like our PR, especially. We've had them since like the start, so like it is like a family. Which is cliche, but like yeah, we've got like the best people behind us. Kind of, they're all pushing us in the right direction. They're here because they want to be here, so it's really cool.
So I guess one final question for you: if anyone is coming up in the music world and really wants to make a good go at it, what advice would you give to them to just to keep going when stuff gets tough?
It's really hard, man, because I struggle with this all the time. Like there's honestly days where I'm like, what is the point in doing this? Like, is it worth the stress? Is it worth like how it makes you feel sometimes? Like the highs are so high, the lows are so low. It's really that kind of thing. I think you really have to want to do it. I think kind of look at yourself and go, do I really want to do this? Like you have to really work at it. No matter what level you're at, you have to want to do it. And if you don't bother. Don't put yourself through it. Like, just don't. And in terms of just being a band, like, I think what was key for us was just like consistency, like just putting out consistency. Like we had a really clear like plan when we first started releasing music, and I think that helped us kind of get on the ladder, if you want to call it that. Like we put a lot of thought into everything we did and strategy into everything. Everything was very strategic and done in a certain way. Yeah, and I think it's kind of social media, like it's so easy to get your music in front of people now, so just take advantage of that. Like rinse it as much as you can, because you can reach so many people. And I think like obviously it's changed so much in the last like 5 years, but when we first put out those first singles, it was still COVID, so we were putting out music on the internet, and that's all we could do. We couldn't play shows, so the internet was very key to everything that we did back then. But yeah, just consistency, and don't look at yourself and say, do you really want to do it? Because it's a lot of hard work and it sucks.
Yeah, that's good. I like that, and hopefully like people that follow through with that will have a great time like you guys are having, and I hope that continues for you. But Julian, dude, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been so good talking to you, and it's been I've enjoyed this.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And next time Heriot need an opening band, just saying.